All right, guys, welcome back to Throwing Wrenches Garage. I'm Tom.
And I'm Declan.
And today we're finally back in the garage, finally working. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Declan and I were just talking about how we're both a little tired. We've both done, we've been outside a bunch today. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous weekend in New England here. Probably, it's like the nicest weekend we've had.
One of the last nice ones that we had.
Yeah, it's a unexpectedly nice weekend. It was in the upper 70s, not a cloud in the sky. The leaves are all changing.
October 20th, it's 70 degrees.
It's like we're cheating Mother Nature here. So we've been to 2 car shows this weekend. But today was like kind of a big farm festival thing that they had not too far from our house here. So we've done a lot today, but we're back in here because we want to tear this down. And Declan was just asking me right before we turned the cameras on, like, why are we doing this? Like, we know that motors hurt. Why are we taking this apart? One of them is a super stupid, silly reason, and that is I want to get that hurt piston out of there because I'm going to make that desk guard. That thing's going to go on my desk. But there is a more practical reason to that, and that is that the current plan that we have right now is to swap out the heads and the TPI intake manifold on this 305 and move them over to the 350 that will come out of my Chevelle. So that will effectively turn the IROC into the 5.7 liter TPI, the 350 TPI. That's the general thought right now. There's still a million different curveballs that could get thrown at us to keep that from happening, but that's our current thinking. So today what we're going to do is take this apart. I think it's an awesome opportunity for Declan to be able to see the guts of an engine, and I don't think anything really helps you understand how all this stuff works and what these pieces and components are and how they work together, other than really getting into a motor. And since we know this one's hurt, there's not a lot of big concern about what happens when we take this one apart. So that's what we're going to set into today. And stay tuned. We'll be working on that now. So let's get some tools and get to work. Let's see if this is metric. Nope, it's 9/16. All right, so you go to work on that. And while you're doing that, I will find us the right Torx bolts for these intake bolts. All right, so what else is holding us here? Anything? All right, this should come out. A little bit of wiggling. Little wiggling and jiggling. There we go. And that's out. So see this gear? Mm-hmm. That is what engages with the camshaft down there. So as the camshaft spins, it spins this, and that spins the distributor. All right, so with that out, let's see if we can start taking some of these bolts off. I just tried to take one bolt off and it was not eager to remove itself. That one's coming. Oh, that one came easier. All right, you can start taking those out.
Oh, this one that didn't come off there?
Yeah, this one's like real tough. It was starting to twist. Oh, you think you're gonna muscle it?
Yeah.
Because I was using the pipe on it, it was starting to twist the bit. So that's why I was worried about it. So be very, very careful. It's not just a matter of strength. If it's too strong for the bit.
Oh yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So let me keep working on those. Let me see if I have another. I might have an impact Torx wrench that might be better for this. Or I might not. Might have to get one. All right, you should be able to get, there's some more in here that you ought to be able to get to.
I oughta?
Yeah, oughta. You also, if that doesn't work right, you might be able to take the extension off. Got it?
It's not worth it. Not worth my time to just undo that.
There you go. So if you guys playing the at-home game and watching us, we got some new toys to play with here. One of them I'm holding right now, which is I got a new little gimbal for my iPhone, and the other is right there, lights. So we got some honest to goodness lighting here to work with. So hopefully we'll be able to step up the quality of our game here. A little, anyway. Not the quality of our workmanship. That's still gonna stink. Do you want a universal?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me see if I can get that.
No, I said a what? Like what?
Universal joint. This. It'll give you a little bit of flex so that you can...
Oh, those things?
Yeah. You might be able to gain a little bit of room. It still might be too tall. Might be too much. Yeah, I think it's too much. I mean, if we have to, we can take the fuel rails off. I just kind of didn't want to. It's like that thing needs to be just a little bit shorter, huh? Oh, you know what? Here, I got an idea. Let's see what size socket will fit on that ratchet head. So take the socket out.
Okay, what? Oh.
So this is a hex. All right, I need smaller than that. Hang on. Will that work? It will. So now take the socket off the wrench and then use this and a little bit of pressure with your thumb. I don't know if we just put that on right or wrong. Yeah, it's tightening. I got a 50-50 chance and I did it wrong. There you go. That was my bad, not you. I put it on backwards.
I tell you.
There you go. Sometimes you gotta think a little out of the box. Like I said, we could take that whole fuel rail off, but I'd rather not if we can avoid it. So what are you guys doing right now? Anything fun? Not this? Not tearing apart rusty bolts? Not rusty. Oxidized? Crudded up? Yeah, nasty. They pretty much all look like this. And there's no way in the world that this is just going to come off. I just know it won't. It's been on there for 36 years. It's not going to want to come off. Ooh, easier than I thought though.
Oh.
We got going on in here. Do I see anything that's like immediately alarming? I think the answer is no.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of the things people are saying was broken.
So these are your push rods, right? None of them outwardly look bent from here. I mean, they all kind of go in at a little bit of an angle, but that's normal. They're supposed to. But none of them look twisted. One of the things that you're going to see, these are your lifters. So this is what actually connects to the camshaft underneath. And you'll look at this and see, can you see there's a flat? Mm-hmm. And this is the block, and it's machined with a flat as well. This block is made for roller lifters. These are not supposed to spin. So because this is machined with a flat and the block has a flat, this block can accept these special kinds of roller lifters, so they're just not going to spin. My 350 does not have that. These openings on my old 350 are round. So that means you'd have to use a different set of lifters that has what they call a dog bone or a link between them that keeps the lifters registered with each other so they can't spin. All right, so let's see. Oh, sludgy. Look at this. Oh yeah, that's gross. Yeah. This motor's not been super well cared for a while. It's pretty mucky. It's pretty gross. All right. Next step, let's see if we can get the exhaust manifolds off so that we can take the heads off. I'm holding onto these bolts just to keep us organized.
The chances of us using them.
Just to keep them, like if we need to bolt something up, just for an assembly check. But the reality is we won't reuse these. Okay. So head bolts carry very specific torque and strength recommendations or specifications. And most of the time for a manufacturer bolt, they're torque to yield, which means they're single use. So you torque them until they stretch to the right amount and then you stop. That means you can't use them again. Because if you stretch them a second time, they're not going to work.
Do the top too?
Yep.
Okay.
So I think that looks like it's reasonable. This one, if you can get the light down in there, looks like I see a little discoloration on the walls, which might be some leftover rust, which might be from some water that was in there at some point in time. And this is definitely water was in there. And this one, so this one with the water in it, this is not our broken one. That's not our hurt piston. This is our hurt piston.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was over here.
No, it was the number 2, which is this one, if I remember right. So let me see this for a second.
This one's covered in oil now.
Yeah, so, okay. Well, the fact that there's a little bit of water on that, a little bit of rust on there, makes me think that it wasn't completely out of the realm of possibility that there was water in here, which means that could have been our hydrolock issue. No guarantees, but it's possible. That's our gasket. It's gonna come right off. It's a head gasket. Shan't be reused. So let's see if I can guide the camera in here. You can see that rust in there. Definitely signs of water having been in there. I don't know how long it might have sat in there, but it was there. This one is the one we scoped before, and we can see that weird sort of S pattern. So that's definitely not like a factory pattern. That's something scratched it, but who knows what it was. And then there's definitely crud here in this one. So I'm thinking this motor sat for a while, unused. And then when someone started it up again, it had some water in it, and it probably hydrolacked then. That's my guess. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the cap off of this piston. So you're gonna take those bolts off. Now we are not reusing any of these rods or their caps, so we're not gonna worry about these bolts or the caps or marking them or anything like that. Tight?
No, I'm just faking it.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. There you go. You should be able to get it now. Once you hear a crack like that, you'll be able to get it the rest of the way. That's just the initial torque breaking. These things get torqued down like mad because of how much stress they have to go through. Aces. Nope, wrong one. Just finish this one first.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
Might be hand loose by now. Yeah. All right, let me just should just be able to take that cap off. Is it not? Might need to pry it a little. Pry just a little. All right, so this is our bearing surface. Yep, those are all chewed up. See how those striations in there? God, you can feel it too. I can feel it with my fingernail, how chewed up that is. Yeah, okay. So you see how this is a separate piece, this bearing? Mm-hmm. All right, now we should be able to...
This is the wrong piston. That has...
Here, maybe can you continue to tap that?
Are you trying to get the weird screwed up piston?
No, I'm gonna get them all out.
Oh, okay. And you're gonna put them on your desk? Or just one?
Well, the weird screwed up one's definitely the one we're after. But it should be easier to take out once we get this one out. Here.
Mm-hmm. Bam! I want to hit you more than the piston. That's what's happening. Alright, well, that's not going to do anything. Alright.
There you go, now you're thinking. Here, want to think even better? Hold on. Better idea. Put the handle of this one in here and now tap the top of that. No, tap the top of the hammer.
Wait, no. What if I do this?
But that doesn't matter.
Don't put that in.
I'm in that piston right now, so just tap the top of the hammer. There you go. Bingo.
I didn't know it was coming out.
Yeah.
You should have told me that. I can't wait to see what this thing looks like when it comes out.
Okay, so that's your number 1 piston. So now we're going to go after number 2, which is your hurt piston.
Yes. Well, half a piston.
What's left of a piston?
Where's the
He did what in his cup?
Where's the thingy?
Which thingy?
I've missed it like 5 times.
Why don't you give it a shot with the mallet, see if that works?
I don't know.
No, it's not going to shock it enough.
Deflect
So
it.
there's a lip on here, so you can just try to pry against that. And then rest it against the motor mount. Shouldn't take a whole lot. There you go. Then you can do the same thing on the other side. A little more. A little more encouragement. If you were ever going to plan on reusing these, I would never advise that you do this.
Okay.
So the rubber mallet usually won't work that well because it's not sending a real shock wave. That won't work well either because it doesn't send a shock. That works though.
You told me to hit.
Another shot or two on the other side. Well, if it's going to work, it's going to work in like one hit. If it's just a little stuck.
I can't even get in on the other side. So.
That's just the bearing coming off. You want me to try it? You getting sick of it? Hold on, hold on. I think it's misaligned. Yeah, here we go. It's coming. Got it. Oh yeah. Observe the carnage. Wow. That is, look at that. Oh my goodness. Hold on, we're gonna just set this down and admire
Compare.
the utter carnage of this thing. Oh. And that bearing too. Look at this. You see the scoring in that bearing? Mm-hmm. That is awful. Yeah. That, holy cow, man. That is just, I mean, whew, wrecked.
Are we undoing all of them?
Yeah, I think I'd like to take them all out because I want to inspect the cylinders. But that, wow, look at even on this side. No way that didn't do heavy damage. inside there. And that is just, I mean, that is an abused, an abused connecting rod. Wow. So we're going to look inside this number 2 cylinder and see what we can see. There's some scoring in here. Can you see those lines that are running like parallel with the cylinder? Mm-hmm. Those are the scores that the piston put in here when it broke apart. They're not like crazy deep. It's not gouged all the way through, but I think, without taking tools to this, I think that's gouged enough that we'd have to bore this to get it to, so they'd have to actually take a machine in here and bore it out to get it back to clean. Also, if you go ahead and take your finger, when you run your fingernail up the top of this, can you feel a ridge at the top?
Okay. Up there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's a ring ridge.
I can feel one there too.
Yeah. So that ring ridge means that this thickness here, this is what the cylinder wall was originally. After that, where you're feeling that ridge, that's where it's worn too. Oh. So it's not like, you're not going to see that amount, but it's enough so that it's going to make a difference for all the clearances in the motor. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So realistically, if you're going to go ahead and use this again, you're going to need to have...
I feel that everywhere.
Yep. It should be on all of them. Because it's normal wear. That's not something that's crazy, but it's normal wear. If we like desperately needed to, we could probably do like a home kit honing on this and put it back together and probably get it to work. We just have to really thoroughly clean it out. But I don't think that's what we want to do. I don't think that makes sense. So the only thing I can imagine is that this thing wasn't run that much with this bent rod. I really do think that probably what happened is this thing got started after sitting for a long time, and they never really drove it like this. They just ran it, you know, probably for a total of 20, 30 minutes, and never ran it to high RPM, so it never got a chance to really screw things up too bad. That's a guess, but that's what I'm going with. So these are bad. There is a ring ridge that I can feel with my fingernail at the top of the cylinder. So the good news is I don't think this is catastrophic. I think if we wanted to, we could rebuild this block. So I think the block is worth setting aside and saving. That's number one. Number two is I think there's enough work here to do to this particular block that I don't think it's worth it, especially since it's a 305. So I think we'll stash it because it's the original motor with the car. But I also think we're going to go ahead with our plan on the 350 because this little guy screwed up everything. So thanks a lot, number 2. Ruined it all. This is why we can't have nice things.
Well, thanks a lot, person who started the car after it sat for like forever.
Yeah, I do really think that, I mean, I did see some rust in here. And we did wash this engine, so it's entirely possible that some of the water that was in here, that we saw in here, and some of the rust that we saw in here was fresh, and it was from when we washed it. But if water got in here when we washed it, it could very well have gotten in here before too, and it was just sitting. So that's still a very high likelihood that was what caused it, although still a chance that it was a stuck fuel injector too. So who knows? So that's it for now with this motor. I think we're on kind of pause with what we do with the motor here until we pull the 350 from the Chevelle, and we're not pulling the 350
until someone gives us a free multi-million-dollar Ferrari engine to put in the car.
Ferrari engine in the Camaro. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So I think we're sort of stuck on the, not stuck. We're on pause on the motor now until we pull the 350 from the Chevelle. That's probably not going to happen until I am officially done driving it for the season, which is soon, but not terribly soon. So I think the next thing we're going to end up working on is some of the body work on the IROC. We're going to pull some dents. And I think we're also going to try to do, if we get another nice day, a little bit of undercarriage cleaning on that, because we do have a cool little kit for doing the underwash on hooking up to a power washer and spraying the underside of it. So we're going to do that as well. All right, so I think that wraps it up for us, right? You good? Anything else you wanted to add?
No.
Yeah, you good? All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. And until then, keep on throwing wrenches.